Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome to What's Up Vlog 131. And I'm back on the workouts. This is week 2, workout 2 from FRNKLN Bespoke, and I've had a quick look. Not sure what to make of it. It's a ramp test, this one, so this could be the toughest yet. It should be the toughest yet, really, as we progress, but we shall wait and see. I've got fair few miles in my legs from yesterday's Cycling Hub Sub 2 ride, and then the little after party up Keith Hill as well. Not to mention Tim goading me into a full-on sprint at the end of the Sub 2 ride as well. So a little bit more fatigue in the legs than possibly I should have at this point in time, but these are all excuses in case I don't perform as I hope in this workout. Right, usual, jump on, I'll go to full screen capture and run you through exactly what I'm looking at. So catch you in a sec. Okay, so I'm trying a slightly different recording setup tonight as well. Having been forced to learn how to use OBS software yesterday for the live stream, I figured that it's possibly a slightly more efficient way for me to do my recordings for the vlogs as well, particularly when it comes to paint can down there. So hopefully this is working. Oh, what I have forgotten to do. That's embarrassing. I'm going on about how I've learnt how to use this new setup, and I hadn't actually put my microphone on. So hang on one second. Put this to my jersey. There we go. Hopefully you can all hear me a bit better now. So if you couldn't hear me, basically I was just saying I'm using OBS software now to do my my vlog recordings as well, assuming this works well. Right, sped up squeaky chipmunk voice time as I read through today's workout.
WKG week 2 workout 2. We all love a good ramp, right? Let's find that suffer zone and stay there for a while. If you have your FTP set right, then this will tickle but won't kill you. We're still in week 2, so we won't push for power too hard, and therefore you can have a free cadence to get this one done. A couple of activation sprints before we hit the ramp to get the blood really pumping, and a few to finish to shake out the blood and lactic acid.
Alright, sounds good. I'm looking across the graph. Yep, so 20-second burst of 289 watts, and then we are going to do a 20-minute ramp up to my FTP, and then what looks like 15 minutes coming back down, followed by 30-second bursts of about 110% FTP, 2 minutes of 167 watts, and 7 minutes of the famous Tim Fulford active warm down. Okay, all sounds good to me. Let's get going. I've set it for the Surrey Hills course for this one, which goes against everything I've previously said. Sorry, let's get my fan on. Goes against everything I've previously said about not wanting a hilly route for workouts, but I just want to explore a little bit, so we'll try and ignore the inclines as best I can. Let's get rolling. I have 2 main objectives for this workout today. First one, the obvious one, to come through it unscathed and without vomiting, passing out or crying. The second one actually is I need to try and get it done before Jesper Anker starts his live stream of his FTP test. I'm really keen to watch that. It'd be nice to sit there in relative comfort watching someone else suffer for a little while. So hey, thank you T James, Lion Rock Cycling, thank you very much for the ride on, my friend. Yeah, so I think I've timed this to perfection. I might miss the first couple of minutes of his live stream, but see how it works out. I've got some music on, which I've not had previously as well, but I'm hoping that will provide a little bit of motivation. One final thing I'll talk to you about while I'm doing my warm-up. I have an alternative recipe go juice today, and this was a very experimental recipe because basically I went to make my usual one and didn't have any oranges or even close alternatives. So I've tried this already and it tastes really good, but it will sound disgusting and it might really mess my stomach up, who knows. but it's got a lot of the usual stuff. So I've got lemons, like juice of a lemon, apple cider vinegar, maple syrup, salt, and then mainly water. But I've actually got, you know, those sort of Barocca vitamin tablet things that creates a kind of fizzy orange drink. So I've got one of those tablets in there, and I've actually topped it up with a splash of flat Coke for a bit of a caffeine kick as well. So there was some method to my madness in that the ingredients all looked, let me just turn this music down a bit. The ingredients looked like it should provide me everything I need, but oh, it's got ginger in it as well. A couple of tablespoons of ginger syrup, and that is what makes it taste really good. But yeah, we shall see. Alright, coming up Keith Hill. I've yet to do Leith Hill from the forward direction. Hey, thank you Martin Donnellan for the ride on, just as I enter the last 20 seconds before the first sprint kick arrives. I have had no instructions whether this should be in or out of the saddle, so I'm going to stay in the saddle for this first one for sure. Okay, 290. There's one of those new start lines, of sort of perforated red glowing line on the floor, which I mentioned in the stream yesterday. It's part of the update where it should be easier to identify the start of a time section like a KOM or a sprint zone. And this is why I don't like doing workouts on hilly courses. I'm barely moving. Right, let's just get these last two bursts out of the way. I've been overtaken by M Slack, who's jogging up the hill. Good job, Mr. Slack. Oh, Ergmo is really struggling. Look, I was doing 150 RPM. It took too long to kick in, so I didn't get anywhere near the power needed. That's terrible. Thank you Thomas Horan from ODZ for the ride on. Great to see you. I didn't heed my own advice then and didn't bring my cadence down before starting the power ramp, which I think contributed to the driver struggling to find the right resistance for me to create, to generate the 290 watts needed. Okay, so I'm going to start bringing it down again now. Driver starts tightening up, which is what we want, so that I'm not spinning my legs off trying to achieve more power. Right. See if it works better this time. There we go. Thank you Olaf for the ride on. Great to see you. I'm not supposed to be talking during these bursts, but I have to make an exception for Mr. Olaf Bonk. There we go, set one done. So we've got a minute rest and then it's the 20-minute ramp up. Right, here we go, 5 seconds. Start this 20-minute session. And we start at 120, okay? Oh good, my power balanced out enough to get me the star in that last set. Hey, Mr. Kevin Stephen. Great to see you, buddy. Thanks for the ride on. Hi John, thank you very much for the ride on. Ben Tao. Hello my friend, great to see you. If I'm not mistaken, I think you were in the Cycle Hub ride yesterday as well. And apologies that I didn't notice you until after the event. Alright, so we're in final minute of the ramp up and my heart rate's only just jumped into the 170s, and I think it's because I let my cadence drop, so I had to try and sort of pick it back up again, but I managed to hold around 90 RPM and keep my heart rate in the mid 160s for pretty much the entire 20 minutes, so I'm really pleased with that. What I don't like is this screen, especially on an interval like this where it's been doing this for the best part of a couple of minutes. But there we go. Okay, so down to 220, which is what I was doing anyway, or thereabouts. That noise outside, by the way, my son basically bought my dream car. And it's got a very loud sports exhaust on it, but sadly he can't stand the car, so he's selling it straight away immediately after buying it. And if I could afford it I'd buy it from him, but I just blew all my cash on bike parts. Right, let's try and get that heart back down again now. That's quite interesting. I've always wondered at what point my heart rate starts to kind of recover after being up in the 170s, and it looks like it's pretty much 180 watts for me, so about 2.4 watts per kilogram, and it wasn't coming down at all until I hit this 180 section that I'm on now, and now back down into the mid 160s. So from my point of view, that's quite useful information. I've got 19, just under 20 minutes left of this workout, and I've got 16 minutes until Jesper goes live to do his FTP, so I'm going to miss the first few minutes of it, but I'll be certain to jump on as soon as I'm wrapped up here. I think this has been the toughest one so far, as it should be, but the last couple of ramp ups from about 180 watts going upwards, I can actually feel that starting to work on my legs, and the fact that it was then holding that for quite a while and coming down slowly meant there was no immediate respite to sort of recover my breath and my energy. It's not crippling, but you can definitely feel it at the top end of this ramp, which is exactly what you want. Oh, my heart rate's gone again. Got to try and get some new batteries before the weekend. Hey, Irindal. I've never known how to pronounce your name, but thank you for the ride on. I think I saw a few as well. Hey Rand, cheers buddy. I saw a few as well while I was stopping myself from talking, so apologies if I didn't read your name out. I'm pretty sure I saw Zoe Collins, Emmanuel Pearson, a few others, but yeah, I'm trying to keep the waffling to a minimum on these workouts as they get more strenuous and a little bit more focused. Basically, I'm practicing not talking for when I do my FTP test. Oh, I seem to have lost resistance. Slow the pedalling down, try and get back up. There we go. Like a momentary erg mode blip again. Right, here come the lactic acid shakers, as Tim described them. 4 30-second bursts at 265 watts. I think I'll do these out of the saddle, you know. You'll notice I'm doing these at a really low cadence, out of the saddle. I'm trying to simulate climbing rather than sprinting with these, and that seems to be the best way. Slow the drivo, the erg mode right down, tighten up the resistance, and just get out of the saddle and turn what would equate to quite a tough gear. There we go, start bringing it back down again now. Alright, there we go. That's the 4 30-second bursts done. Felt okay. Just a 1 minute rest now at 110. Although again, I seem to have lost all resistance. Come on, drivo, wake up. There we go. Yeah, so 1 minute rest at 110. Then 2 minutes, 165 watts to finish off the workout, or supposedly the workout, and then whatever Tim has in mind for this 7-minute cool down. Okay, 90 RPM for this 165 watts. That's good, that plays right into my wheelhouse. I've been trying to hold 90 RPM anyway, pretty much throughout this. I think I just saw Ben Lansdowne Gray give me a ride on. Thank you, buddy, very nice to see you. Thank you for the ride on. Hey Darren, Mr. Hunter, thank you my friend for the ride on. I was just fiddling around with the camera, just trying to have a good look at the scenery if I could. I let my cadence slip quite a bit while I was doing that, which wasn't very good. Alright, nearly there, last 20 seconds, then we can cool it down. I've got 4 minutes till the Esper FTP time, 7 minutes left of this ride. There we go, fantastic. Okay, cool down at 160, so I basically just carry on. No, that was a really good one, thank you Tim. They've all been really good, but that seems to felt like it probably worked what I wanted to work more than any of the others. Yeah, really good workout. I think that's the first time I've ever done a structured sort of ramp workout. I'm not going to say I like it, because then you'll make all of them ramped, but yeah, so I didn't enjoy it, that's not the right word, but it feels very satisfying. It felt like a very good stretch of the leg muscles. So while I'm doing the warm down, that basically does summarise the whole ride, what I just said. It's really good. I like the idea of the quick bursts at the beginning, just to wake things up a little bit, it kind of feels like that's part of the warm-up. Really get your heart going before the real test starts with the ramp. Yeah, that was brilliant. So thank you Tim Fulford, thank you FRNKLN Bespoke. Absolutely brilliant workout. I'm just going to thank everyone again who turned up for the ride yesterday, the sub 2 ride. It was a real tricky thing to do. My first time live streaming, and I know I've mentioned this goodness knows how many times, but first time live streaming, first time with that many riders in a group ride. But you guys just did it for me and held yourselves together really nicely, so I'm very grateful for that. And for the number of views. I think we got over 3,000 views on the video of the race so far. So that was a very pleasant surprise as well. So thank you guys. Alright, as we roll down Box Hill, I'm going to end the video here. I will finish this cool down, I promise you, Tim. You'll be able to see from my from my Strava. But I'm going to finish the video so I can basically in the background get the live stream up and ready for Jesper's FTP. So, as always, thank you for sitting through what's possibly a personal record in the fewest number of words used in one of my vlogs. I think I did virtually that whole ramp without talking, which is obviously 35 minutes, and that's good for me whether I'm on a vlog or not, to go that long without babbling something. So now it sounds like I'm making up for it in this in this outro. So I'll shut up. Thank you all very, very much for watching, and I will catch you on the next one. Ciao.